as to why you would come to this tonight, considering you know the ending. That would be like buying tickets to Creed 2, and we already know how it ends. Yeah, I'm surprised you guys came. That's pretty, I'm thankful for that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're gonna, marriage. I would never fucking do that again. You couldn't fucking pay me enough money. Like enough money, like Bill Gates could be like, Mr. Kupsey, I will give you $1 billion if you get married again. But Mr. Gates, I've grown quite fond of the taste of ramen. Yeah, we're going to talk about divorce. We're going to get into the highs, the lows, the loneliness, the despair, the regret of not having it all officiated by Judge Judy. Which really pisses me off. I didn't know that was a fucking thing. You can do that. Very upset. But no, we're going to talk about divorce. We're going to talk about all the fun and all the wonderful time divorce is. I have to tell you guys something. If you came here looking for some sort of sage-like advice, like, hey, you know, maybe you thought to yourself, like, oh my God, I'm going through a divorce. I'm really stuck right now. I don't know where to go with it. I should go see the guy who wrote the book about Wawa. Like, he's got a lot to say about divorce, considering he lives in his brother's basement. And I have this microphone on, so it looks like it's just like a pyramid scheme in Delaware County that I'm trying to sell you on. But the truth is, like, I didn't even know how to get out of my... Oh, hey, Chris, hi, Gene, hi, guys. Sorry, they're my friends. I have a lot to say hi to them. But here's the thing that's funny to me, is that I know people personally who are definitely afraid to get divorced. Like, definitely afraid. You know, and I'm here to assuage any type of fear. Because I'm a fucking idiot, and I did it. So if I can do it, like, in my mind, anybody can do it. You know? But it's funny to me, because everybody, they never tell you what to do when you get divorced. Like, they don't tell you that in Sunday school. When I was Catholic, I went to pre-Cana. So it's not like they told you that during pre-Cana. They don't tell you how to open up your checking account or how to get a new Costco card because you lost it in a divorce. No, they don't. And they certainly don't tell you what to do with the wedding ring, right? Nobody tells you what to do with a wedding ring after you get divorced. I mean, it blew my mind. Nobody had any idea what to do with a wedding ring. So I came up with a few ideas of what you should do with your wedding ring when you get divorced. Number one, you could hold on to it as a sign of failure. Like that one. Number two, you could go to a bridge, throw it in the water, and hope that time washes away that mistake. Or number three, you could take it to a pawn shop, hawk it, use the money from it, to have a jerk-off session with your favorite porn star on Skype. Yeah. Which is funny to me that I did that I sold my fucking wedding ring, because I remember the day I got married. Like, I fucking remember. I remember the day I got married. I remember it was this beautiful Catholic church, like out in the suburbs of Philadelphia, like a really long altar, and it was like a big red carpet, and some weird pedophile was standing behind me. So, and I remember my wife was beautiful, my ex-wife. Beautiful woman. Kind of like a mix of Cher, like a Victoria's Secret model. I'm dead serious. Like, oh God, she was gorgeous. And I remember watching her like walk down the aisle towards me. And she was beautiful, real tan, and dark hair, was up in a bun. And I remember she was being walked by her father. Her father was from Italy. He was a really nice man, and I loved him very much. But he looked like Wolverine from the X-Men. Like the comic book X-Men. So it was like really funny that like he walks up to the altar, he takes his daughter's veil off, he gives the hand, the whole thing's fucking Italian, and then you got Italian X-Men and my new buddy CrossFit Jesus. Like, it was just a real weird meeting in the aisle, you know? And I remember when we even exchanged vows. I remember a few things from this, but I remember we exchanged vows. And I remember when she put the ring, like she had the ring and she was like reciting these vows, and like you could tell she was like mouthing along, and I was like, is she like really into this, you know? Because I kind of know this shit. And so, you know, she takes this ring and she like slips it on my finger in front of, you know, the Lord, our family, our friends, the pedophile priest. And then like, you know, 5 years to the day, I would take that to a pawn shop and fucking sell it so I could talk to Alexis Monroe on Skype. You know? And I remember that day. I remember I was just like, I was just covered in semen and Jordan's intensive therapy, you know? Just a mess of a human being. Just really at my lowest, and it makes me laugh because it's like, like my homie Drake said, we started from the bottom, now we're here. So that's where we're gonna start. So I have a question. How many people are divorced? Do we have any divorced people? Oh, look at you. Look at you, handsome. What's your name, sailor? Ooh, name's Mark. You look really good. You look like you're in really good shape. How much weight do you lose, buddy? 50 pounds, right? Divorce diet works. Doesn't it? Doesn't it, man? And what about you, miss? Wait, hold on. First, I need to ask him a question. Let me ask you, you're a divorced man, I'm a divorced man, right, sir? You're working on it, you're like in the fucking trenches. But let me get to the point. Because you and I are divorced guys. And when anybody ever asks us, this is going to get into a little bit of misogyny and misandry. So just follow me, okay? We're equal hate. Every time you see your ex or think of your ex, what do you think? I know what I think. I go, that bitch. Right?
I say asshole.
Asshole. Okay, what do you say, miss? Is it that asshole?
I did dickhead.
What's that, dickhead?
Yes!
Dickhead or Voldemort? Wow, you went Harry Potter on me, man. Shit! Does anybody use Tinder? You use Tinder, young man, with the hat? You, glasses, turn it around. You dabble a little bit. Do you know how much, are you a Tinder Gold member? You know how much that cost you? $29.99. At $29.99, you're out of your mind. You know? Yeah. Fuck yeah. I told you I was dancing. None of y'all believe me. Embarrassing. I'm just doing this. Alright, look. I remember when I got divorced, I got a really good bit of advice. I said the best way you can get over somebody is to get under somebody else. Right? It's the perfect advice. At least I think so. But when it was given to me, I was not in a position to be like dating. Like I was a couple months out of my divorce and I was just like this broken dude, like just laying around. Like, you know what I was really like? I was like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. You know, I lived in a cave, like in a basement, and I just held a ring and just said, precious. So like I couldn't date. Like I was fucked up, man. I was toxic as shit because, you know, my marriage had ended poorly. My ex-wife had a new lover who was her old lover, and I didn't know when that began. So there was a little bit of, there was no way I could picture myself going to dinner with a woman after finding this out. Like I couldn't sit there at a dinner and be like, oh, that's wonderful that you like tennis, but are you still in love with your ex-husband? Like, shit like that, you know, or how fucked in the head are you? But the problem is that like, I'm a horny dude. And I'm like still kind of good looking. Like I'm clinging. I am fucking clinging. Like Tom Selleck's career, I'm clinging. You know? Like I get it. Like I'm fucking hanging there, man. So I was like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna get on like every dating app possible. You know? So the first one I went on was Bumble. I was like, because I like the fact that like women message you first on this app. And yeah, it was great. And because women message you first, it's like, it's so awesome because you can just like carefully curate a profile with like bullshit buzzwords like commitment, honesty, hiking. Hold on, Jen, I missed a part, but wait, the best part is that because none of that shit existed, real quick, when I was married. None of it fucking existed. And you would understand, as a married guy, you think that all this shit happened the second you got taken off the market because it fucking did. You know, there was a Bumble when I was dating anybody. You judge people while you're taking a shit, you know? Like, can you imagine? There's gonna be a conversation someday when a dad is like, Dad, when did you meet Mom? He's like, well, I was taking a shit at Applebee's and I swiped across your face and the rest is history. Like, you know? But as a married guy, that's the problem. Like, a married guy, all my friends were on these apps and I was like so jealous because like, when you're unhappily married, you're missing out like on everything, you know? But when you're happily married, you're missing out on nothing. So I was unhappily married, and I was like, the second I get out of this shit, I'm getting Bumble. And the first message I sent to a girl, the first message I got from a woman, she goes, hey Nick, what's your favorite type of music and your favorite type of mischief? I don't know, Debbie Gibson and armed robbery. Like, I was so clueless. I didn't know how to talk to anybody after being years out of the game. So that died. And then I linked up with this other woman, and we were like talking, and she like sent me a picture of her breasts like out of nowhere. And I'd like never gotten a tit pic before. I was like, oh my God. I was like, those are so nice. I was like, but could you send me a copy of your credit score? Like a list of the medications you're on, man. But it was weird. It was really weird because like I started talking to this girl, and like she was like, hey, can I see a picture of your penis? And I was like, no one's ever asked me for a portrait before. Like, do I take it to Sears? Like, how's this work? Then she's like, I won't go out with you if I know how thick your penis is. This is like the third woman I've talked to on Bumble. So there I was. It was a Saturday night, and I'm on my knees with my pants at my ankles and a cold tape measure wrapped around my sad Irish penis. And all I could think of was, fuck, I used to be married and go to brunch. Chad, we'll stop it there. Okay, here's something very interesting. Is that divorce was not a thing in my family, like even in my extended family. I think there was like maybe one person that got divorced. And I think most of the reason that my family stayed together was because they were all Irish partiers and they needed at least one designated driver. So, but it's true, and you know, and especially like I came from my parents were very happily married. My father loved my mother. He was in love with my mother. And the thing that cracked me up the most was they got married in 1970, and in those days you didn't live with someone like you do now, you know? Like, you live with someone like it's like a fucking starter relationship. So he had no idea what kind of like dragon lady he had married. So like he apparently said that she was so awful in the morning that after the first week of being married, he made sure her coffee was at her bedside before she even came down the stairs. I was like, holy shit, she must have been awful, you know? But it's funny because they had a really good marriage, and I laughed because how they met. My father and mother met at work. She graduated college and became a temp at his business where he worked. And she said that they fell in love at first sight. But the way she described my dad was a lot more lustful. You know what I mean? And they would work together, and they would go to this company picnic a few weeks later. And I remember my mom telling me this portion of it, because it required her to go outside near a sports field. So like she's not like a sports person at all, like hated the sports, like it was very feminine, very like, ew, gross. So she goes to this company picnic and she wears a yellow dress. And she sits right in center field. And I was like, oh, why the hell would you do that shit? And she goes, and whenever my mother wanted to get a point across, she was a heavy smoker, a little tiny Irish lady. She would take like a long drag of a Virginia Slim and just be like, I want to get your father's attention. I was like, holy shit, man, that's pretty bold, you know? And she did, and then after, you know, my father was a very chivalrous guy. He was very, a very positive, masculine man. And my mother had lied to him and said that she didn't know how to get back to Upper Darby from the field so that he would drive her home, or at least follow her home. And my dad did. He had this beautiful Pontiac Le Mans. It was a convertible, 1960-something, I forgot. And he loved the car, and it was like his status symbol. He was a poor kid growing up in Bridesburg, graduated college, went to the Navy, all that shit. So this was like his symbol that he made it. You know? And he started dating my mother, and my mother, within like 2 weeks or whatever it was like, that thing ruins my hair, I hate it. And he sold it. He sold the fucking car. I was like, holy shit. And he goes, I sold it because I knew I was going to marry your mother. Said he knew, you know? Said he knew. And I used to like going out with my dad. I remember one night we went out, and I was asking him the story, and I said, Dad, he revealed something to me about the story that he never told me until I was in my 20s. He said that the night he followed my mom home, he was fucking hammered out of his mind, and he had no business being on the road, and he had no idea where Upper Darby was. He said he said it was a miracle that they got married. He said it was a goddamn miracle. I had no idea where I was going. So I remember we went out one night, and we were having a drink, and I said, Dad, I used to bust his balls, because he was a good-looking dude. I'm like, Dad, tell me about all the women you got before, man. Come on, Dad, I know you did well. You're dark skinned, dark hair, built. You're probably smashing chicks. What's going on? And my father was not like that. My dad was not a guy to like kiss and tell. So he would always just like kind of smirk and like look off. And then he would say something about my mother. And then he would like stare off into the distance, like he was like watching her, like walk towards him, you know? And I remember when he says, Dad, why the hell won't you tell me anything about you when you were single, man? And he's like, because the only woman that ever mattered was your mother. I was like, oh, that's very nice. It's a very nice thing to say. It's a very nice thing to say. And I remember I was having a beer at that same bar after I got divorced. And I was thinking about it because I was thinking about my father and his marriage to my mother. And I was thinking about, like, my own situation at the time. And I was divorced and I was, very unhappy. And I remember my dad said something. He's like, look, in life, that same night, he said, look, in life, you get one great love and one great car. And then I remember thinking about it. I remember thinking about when I met my ex-wife. I had a Jeep. I had a 1994 Jeep Wrangler. I fucking loved it. And I was barely able to hang on to it for like 2 years until we got married. And then we got rid of it. I got a Honda CR-V. So I remember thinking about this, and like I step outside and I'm like smoking a cigarette, and I'm thinking, I should have never sold that fucking Jeep. I love this song. I was afraid of Boy George for like the first 3 years of my life. I was, like on MTV. Apparently my brother Dave told me the other day, you were terrified of him. Now I think he's the most handsome man that ever lived. I guess we all grow. Well, here's the thing. All right, like I got divorced. As you all know, I've said it 1,000 times. I'm beating a fucking dead horse with that one. But who's to blame, right? Like, who is to blame? I mean, sure, she is. I mean, like, I don't slag off her in public. Maybe I'm to blame, Maybe what problems, what issues I brought to this marriage. I'm sure I brought a lot, a couple parents died. 2 parents died. That'd be great if I was like, I had 8 parents die because I'm really a fucking alien. No, both of my parents died. I had a lot of issues that I think that I brought into the relationship. I'm sure that affected it, had an adverse, didn't work well with it. But I was trying to think, like, who do I blame for this? I was like, you know what, I'm going to blame my fucking dad. And at first they're like, yeah, laughing, like, yeah. But I can blame him, A, because he's dead. And that's the perfect thing about having dead parents. Is you can blame all your emotional bullshit right on them. It's so awesome. It's like a fucking get out of jail free card. I can fuck up and, like, the baby, like, my mom died when I was like 16. Like, Yeah, my mom died 3 days before Christmas, which was like the worst way for my parents to let me know that Santa wasn't real. But that was fucked up, Mom and Dad. But no, I blame my dad, and I don't blame him, but I blame him. Because my father was so in love with my mother, and she died very suddenly. So it was a very, obviously traumatic for everybody, but especially for him. And we would talk about my mother. I was very close with my mother. I loved hanging out with my mother, so I think that my father, because of our feelings towards her, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I spent a lot of time with her. I was supposed to be a girl, so my mom would like curl my hair and like paint all my nails. So like internally, I am a gay man stuck in a straight man's body. It is a very difficult life. All I want to do is watch fucking Project Runway and perform cunnilingus. Like none of it makes sense. But no, I always blame it on my dad, and the reason I do that is because I would sit there and I would talk to my father about his marriage and the way he would talk about my mother. And what happens when people die is that we tend to build a myth around them. We tend to look at everything with like kind of rose-colored glasses. So when my father's telling me these great origin stories of their time together, it's not doing me any favors. Because while I'm listening to this, I'm only looking at the most positive aspects of a relationship and not the things that also happen, like the fights, the arguments, the money issues, all those things. So while it was great for me to want to be like, okay, spend most of my life wanting to be married like my dad. I wanted his life. He was a very happy man. He came home happy every day, liked his kids, liked his life. Very lucky, very lucky. And I wanted that with my ex-wife. I wanted us to kind of, my parents would come home every day and they would sit at the kitchen table and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes together. Though my ex didn't smoke because she's fucking no fun. And, round of applause for that, come on! No fun. But no, I wanted that. I wanted to like sit around, drink coffee, and like hang out and click like Legos with my own wife, you know what I mean? And that was the goal. But the problem was that's not what happened. I would come home and she would already be asleep half the time on the couch in like a pair of sweatpants. And I would just drink my coffee alone in the kitchen. Well, listen to the Big Bang Theory reruns off the TV. And I don't know, and I now that I'm divorced, I'm like, I spent 16 years trying to like emulate or create like the marriage of my parents. I'm not fucking doing that again. It keeps failing. It's like the definition of insanity, At some point I have to like give up, maybe, I don't know, become celibate. You know what's funny? What's really funny to me is like, and now that I'm divorced, like I go places and like normal things that would have never bothered me like any other time before, but like all of a sudden have like emotional meaning. Does that make sense? Like something that shouldn't have any emotional meaning all of a sudden does. Like for instance, found myself one night, I was in the parking lot of Trader Joe's. And I was just like furiously chain smoking cigarettes. It was a Friday night, like in the fall, it was a really beautiful fall night. I remember that much. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't want to go into this fucking Trader Joe's because this is the Trader Joe's, like, me and my ex's Trader Joe's. Like, the one we went to every Friday night, like, got in a fight in the aisle. Like that Trader Joe's. Like, that's how committed we were. Like, the employees there knew our fucking arguments. Like, they saw us get divorced years before everybody else did. They were like, we fucking sold that one, kid. So I'm in the car and I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm it's gotta be like maybe 2.5 months since we've been separated at this point, but I want this fucking cheese. I really want this fucking cheese. It's this English cheddar with caramelized onions. It's like fucking delicious. Like it's that good. And if you leave it sit out for a couple minutes, it gets like room temperature. It's beautiful. So, the bread, where's the peppers? But, told you, game man inside. So, so I have to get this cheese. I need this cheese. I gotta get this cheese. I gotta get this fucking cheese. So growing up, me and my buddies, whenever we wanted to do something that we were afraid of, we'd always say 1, 2, 3, fuck it, and we'd do it. So I open the car door, flick the cigarette, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, fuck it. I jump up the steps into Trader Joe's. I am barreling through hit friggin' yuppies like Jerome Bettis. I get to the cheese, and all of a sudden I'm stopped, and it's a familiar voice. Ex-wife's voice. And the aisle next to me, the frozen aisle. It's like, son of a bitch, frozen aisle. So she's in the frozen aisle, at least I think, And I don't know what to do, so all of a sudden I was like, wow, that voice. First of all, it sounded, last time I heard that voice, it sounded kind of bitchy. So it's a little light now, so good for her. And yeah, fuck her. Oh man. So I'm in Trader Joe's, all right? And I hear her voice, and I swear it felt like 1,000 bullets were just like pinning me down behind the veggie crisps, So I was like, I gotta do something, because like, I've been waiting though. I've been waiting for this like moment. Like thinking, I was like, dude, when I run into her, man, I'm gonna be like, hey man, fuck you, like that. Like when you run through the argument in your head, like I'm gonna body slam, Like, any ex, this is not a gender thing, we've all wanted to murder someone we've had sex with, okay? If we haven't, none of you would be here. So I don't know what to do, right? So I'm in Trader Joe's, and I'm like, all right, like, I want to confront her, but like, I don't know, this is going to end up being like a really weird Wild West situation. You know what I mean? Like, where I'm at the top of the frozen aisle and she's at the bottom, and like, are we going to like run towards each other, like clothesline? Like, how is this going to work? So I was like, I don't know if I can do it. So I ran like a coward. I did. I think it's hilarious. There was a bunch of people over by the free samples, so I was like, I did one of these, I was like, and I stopped. And then I saw like right where the aisle was, where I had to like run. There was these like 2 like teenage girls, and like, oh my god! So I just kind of ducked behind them, and I was like, pull one of these, And then I went out. They had like a door to the basement. I go out, down the steps, out of the back door at a speed that has not been seen since like a zombie outbreak or like the Beatles at fucking Shea Stadium. And I am running like Forrest Gump. Like, it's just like Gen A, right down the road. And I'm on this road, it's called Baltimore Pike. It's a very busy thoroughfare. Maybe you know Route 1, I don't know. Maybe you're fancy. So I'm running on this thing, and I'm a heavy smoker, so like, the nicotine-stained lungs just like gave out, and I just like ate it in a mud puddle, and I'm just like laying there like this, just like, oh, this fucking sucks. You know, because like, A, I bitched out when I saw my ex-wife, you know, I've been waiting for that confrontation, nope. And then 2, here I am like cry puking on Baltimore Pike. You know? It's never a good look. But all I knew is that I was losing. I was losing, because let me tell you something. Every breakup has a winner and a loser, right? Every single one. Someone's either carrying the emotional or financial bag of every goddamn breakup, and she was kicking the shit out of me. Like, I was just like fucking boom! Like, because we're gonna get to it, man. And I just remember going home, like just covered in fucking like mud and puke, you know, like just gross. And I'm just defeated. And I'm like sitting on the end of my bed like this, like, I'm fucking loser. You know what I mean? Like, just like, I gotta fix some shit. You know, like that's what I'm thinking. I gotta fix my life. And I remember I have a good buddy of mine, his name's Pat. And I went down and, someone's phone's going off, I think. So I was at my buddy Pat's, and I was there visiting him and his wife. And I'm sitting there, and this is why I hate technology, because at any moment, this is why we're all nuts as fucking human beings, because at any moment, you can get Pearl Harbored out of nowhere. You ever notice that? That's what happened to me. I was at my buddy's, it was nice. My buddy Pat, his wife Vicky, they had a new baby. I'm holding the baby, I'm petting the dog, life is fucking good. And then my buddy Chris sends me a screenshot, you know, of my ex-wife and her new boyfriend, old boyfriend, in some like tropical locale, you know, and I'm in like some apartment off of South Street. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, and dude, you know, look, man, I'm a short dude. I have a Napoleon complex, right? Right? Like, I have been punched before many times, but let me tell you something. This was like a gut punch, like I had never felt. I was like, holy shit, I think my spleen wiggled. Like, and the reason why it was such a gut punch was we were together for 7 years, and she had dated this guy before. And I said, hey, I don't think you're over him. I don't think you're over him. And she's like, blah, 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 and she would say shit to me, and then, fucking whatever, it sucked. That's the point I'm trying to get. So, seeing this picture of her was awful, and it just like totally ripped my fucking lungs out. I was like, this sucks. And my buddy Pat was like, yo, dude, fuck her, because A, you always need someone to get angry for you, and 2, he's like, dude, he's like, you have no debt, you're now single, dudes would jerk off to live your life. First of all, weird. And 2, I was like, you know, I'm a mailman, I live with my brother, I don't see that as Pornhub material, man, you know? But he was fucking right, so he's right. So I'm leaving, he's like, dude, this is what you gotta do. He goes, forget your ex, fix your life, blow up your life. I was like, shut the fuck up. So that's exactly what I did. I literally went home, I quit my job as a mailman. This is no lie, because nobody, you know, says I want to be a mailman when I grow up, you know? This is something you kind of fall into, like a major film at Temple. And you're like, oh shit, here I am. Fuck, might as well do this. And I couldn't do it anymore, because, you know, my ex-wife would say like shitty things like, you know, one day when you get a real job, and I was like, you know what? If you don't think a mailman's a real job, suck my dick. And number 2, I'm so quitting this shit. So I quit my job. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I quit my job. And then the second thing I did was, I got involved doing this shit and I wrote a book. Me and my buddy Ben, we wrote a book about Wawa. Very nice. I got to meet fucking Steve Keeley. Steve Keeley from Fox 29. I hugged that guy. And irony, I saw him getting dressed on Market Street today, walking here. And I watched. It was so hot. So I did that, and you know, I wrote this book, and things went well, and things were going well. And then while I was doing that, I was repairing my friendships that I'd lost through my marriage. I had lost 2 major friendships to me. One was with my friend Susan. My friend Susan, Susan's a very tall, beautiful, talented woman. She's very accomplished. She's a mother, engineer. She also clogged the toilet at a New Jersey Pizza Hut. So, but I was able to rekindle and refix that friendship. My friend Christopher Muffin, who has spent his whole life being the Frodo to my over-emotional Sam. Because that's the thing, like if I was going to climb to Mount Doom to get rid of the ring, you got to bring Sam, right? He didn't come with me to the pawn shop. But no, and it's funny because I thought about all these bad things that happened and how bad I felt about myself. And then I thought about where I was now and how good I felt about myself. And I was at this kind of top of Mount Doom almost, as it seems. And it makes me laugh because I look down at that guy that's laying in puke and mud, you know, and I just went like, oh dude, like the view is so much better from up here. It's gonna be fun. Yo, originally when I was going to do this, it was totally going to be an anti-X screed. I'm kidding, I wasn't going to do that. I'm sad if you thought that's what it was going to be, and if you're disappointed, but the truth is, we're not friends or enemies. I mean, I'm not particularly fond of her, but I'm not going to seek her out. She's not my emergency contact anymore. Now I'm thinking of a practical joke, you know? Like, I could really fuck it, you know? But no, she's neither my friend nor my enemy. And she's somewhere out in the world. I don't know where she is. I don't keep tabs. I think that's not my job. A, it's kind of creepy. Two, who wants to do that? But it's sad because, like, I mean, I can still remember even like when we met. Like, it's very funny to me. I remember when we met. We met through a friend. Actually, technically, no. We met through Facebook. A friend told me about her and said, friend request her. I was like, all right. And my friend requested her. Then she DM'd me. And then I DM'd her back. No. So, yeah, and we ended up talking. And then the talking led to like a 3-hour conversation, phone conversation. You know, we set up a date. And it was a nice date. We went to, we got Cold Stone Creamery ice cream in February. Because I'm basic. Not gonna lie, it was just like a fucking Hail Mary. But I didn't expect to like date anybody at that time. At the time my father was sick, he was nearing the end of his life, and I had just had a disastrous engagement end. Surprise, I'm not good at this. Surprise. But no, it was a great date, and I'll never forget when she got out of the car. I'll never forget it. We were in this parking lot, and she got out, and God, she was just so beautiful, and she had just such a beautiful smile that just kind of like illuminated the parking lot. And I remember we went inside, and we had ice cream together. And I didn't eat much of my ice cream. I was listening to her talk, you know? And I hung on like every word she said, like it was like the last torch in like an ever-darkening cave, you know? And I just liked her, I really did. You know, and there was red flags, they were there that night. And that's what's funny, you can go back, and you can look and be like, oh, that was the fucking moment I should have walked, you know? Like, that was the goddamn moment, you know? And there was, and even that first night, I was like, you know, a bit of an attitude. Did you see that fucking ass? You know? Like, dude, she's kind of like, kind of judgmental. Bro, that face is on point. That face is on point. It's like, yo, man, she seems to be like really, really uptight. I was like, did you see those fake tits? That fucking olive skin and fake tits. You know? She had one of them like really big noses too. I like a big fucking nose. You know? Big nose women. I like fucking big nose women. Fucking sexy. You know? Give me a big nose anyway. But no, she was beautiful, she was. And our first date was nice. But I really think that, you know, I kind of did, I felt like I was like a downhill skier, like one of them slalom guys. And I just fucking went right down the hill without hitting any of the flags. You know what I mean? And then got to the end, I'm like, why did I get disqualified? Like, that's how fucking dumb I was at my ex-wife. Every fucking sign was just like laid out before me, dude. Like, you know, like everybody's like, hey, Captain Obvious, look at that shit, you fucking idiot, you know? But the thing is, I ignored them all. Do you want to know why? because I couldn't stop staring at her fucking tits. I don't know how to play. Okay. I'm not a psychic, right? That you guys know of? Like, I'm not. If I was a psychic, I would dodge wedding rings like Neo dodged bullets in the Matrix. Like, so I don't know how you handle your shit, be it a breakup or a divorce. I don't know. I just know for me, I don't handle things well. Should that surprise any of you? Right? Hell no. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Hell no. Brandon knows me very well. We've worked together on several occasions. No, I am a fucking lunatic, man. Seriously. Like, I have all the emotional stability of the relationship between North Korea and the United States. Like, it's just like, woo, 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 woo. So, like, anything, for me, because of my emotional makeup, can be a trigger, you know? So, but it's always music, though, right? Like, when you break up, it's always music. Like, it's always fucking music. It's never like, you know, here's a lollipop, you know? So one time, and it's funny because like when you get divorced, like sometimes you get triggered. Like I remember one time this song came on, it was by Dire Straits, So Far Away From Me. It's a beautiful song. And I was getting Burger King, and I was at the drive-thru and that song came on, and me and my ex-wife used to like listen to that record and drink coffee together. So by the time I pull up to the window, and there's like this pimply-faced fucking teenager, you know, with the braces and fucking puberty, and I'm just like, you know? But okay, so one time I was in Delaware, I was in an Arby's, I was in the parking lot of an Arby's in Delaware. That's how no sentence should start. So I'm in this parking lot and I'm eating, and like I used to do this comedic bit where I'd film myself eating food. Groundbreaking content, I know. So I'm fucking sitting there, I'm listening to B101.1, a soft rock station like an asshole, and this song comes on. And because I'm Irish, I'm just compelled to sing it. Restaurant! Like, the Irish DNA in me just compels me. And here's the thing, is that this is a sad song, so like right now I'm starting to get sad. So I'm in my car, and I got a box of fries in the one hand, and a fucking beef and cheddar in the other, and I'm just trying not to cry to Sinead O'Connor. But desperately, and and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, if I can get through this fucking song, I'll be all right. If I get through this song, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. Let's see if I can get through this song. And I get through the song, and it's beautiful. And I'm like, okay, I'm not crying. Everything's good. Take a bite of the sandwich, takes like some fries like this, because I'm an animal. And the DJ comes on, and it's like, hey, this next song's Kelly Clarkson. And now I'm fucking pissed! Because since you've been gone, and that bitch has been gone a year, why is she still here, Kelly? Why am I upset about this shit? So now, I'm sad because of Sinead O'Connor. And I'm fucking angry because of Kelly Clarkson. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying not to rage cry in my fucking Honda CRV with a fistful of, because we have the meats. And I'm just jamming food into me, and I want to change the station, but my hands are covered in horsey sauce. I can get out of the car, but I can't. My hands are covered in horsey sauce. So I'm trapped in this fucking musical prison with Kelly Clarkson, all right? And I'm like, oh fuck, if I get out of this, man, if I get out of this, I'm fucking crazy. You know, so I'm trying to get out of this song, I'm trying not to cry in my windshield, you know? And then the next fucking, it's like a silence that could have gone unmolested for years. And then this song comes on. I'm gonna wait and listen to it for a second. Yeah, right? Didn't have to cut me off? Fuck you, bitch! Like, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't. Like, I don't feel that way. But here's the thing that makes me mad. This line, this is where I almost lost it. And I'll explain, I'm jamming food, not crying. Records! She wouldn't let me have my two favorite records! Yoshimi battles the pink robots, and Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. She's not gonna listen to that shit. So I'm angry, I'm in this car, and like, I'm pissed, and I have all these emotions, and I'm like, so that's it. I just like literally just like start rage crying in my Honda, just with horsey sauce all over my face. There's like ketchup, there's napkins everywhere. And it made me realize something. If you're ever going through a breakup, ever, and you're in your car, listen to your iPod, because those motherfuckers at B101.1 are emotional terrorists.
Come inside, take off your coat and make you feel at home. Now let's pour a glass of wine.
I remember I was at a 7th grade dance, and I slow danced with Lori Hartman to this. I did, what the fuck, I even remember her name, suck it. It's August of 2018, I'm feeling fucking good, like really good. And I'm engaged in my favorite pastime now, which is staring at myself in the mirror shirtless, while mouthing to myself, "You're handsome." I'm sitting there, I'm getting ready, and I'm notorious for fucking like showing, all right, I gotta tell you, I'm a fucking diva. I show up to parties late so women will look at me. That's what I used to do, you know,
Okay.
because I thought that was a thing. Somebody told me that once. Is it? No? Fuck, man, I've been late to like 80 parties for no reason. Like, and I walk in like big dick energy too. I'm like, yeah, what's up, motherfuckers, dude? He's ready to party, you know, like, it's never, I didn't know that wasn't a thing, man, I'm so mad. So wait, so get ready for this party, and my phone is fucking ringing, and it won't stop ringing, and it's Susan. And I pick up the phone, and she goes, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm home." And she goes, "I know what you're doing, you're staring at yourself in the mirror, aren't you?" "Yes, I am." She goes, "Get here, there's girls here." I'm like, "Bobby." Yeah, that's all I got to say to get me to places, like, was to get girls here, you know? So, I get to the party, or no, I'm getting ready, and the problem is that I haven't been in shape since I was like 25, so friends of mine were like, when I got divorced, like, "Yo, dude, if you ever want to like, you know, if you have any rage, you should take it out at the gym." I was like, "All right, man." So I joined the gym with like an ISIS level zeal. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember the Al-Qaeda videos when they were like doing the fucking jungle gym and shit? Like, that was me, like the first fucking like 6 weeks at the gym. But it doesn't really help all that much at first. I'm just fucking angry now with muscles. You know what I mean? Like, the worst combination ever. You know? Like, the midlife crisis I went through about my body, I'm not even kidding you. I was like, what, a month ago, I was outside of a bar in Old City telling my other 40-year-old friend that I would fight every motherfucker in this bar. My nickname in high school was Pony Boy. When my friends were fighting, I was holding their jacket, jamming Jolly Ranchers into my Zima. So I look good, I look really good, and I'm staring at myself in the mirror and I feel good. I feel really good about myself, you know? And it's the first time I'm not thinking about my ex-wife, that's over with. I got a nice career, I got a new job, like I love the way I look, my hair's gray and sexy and salt and pepper, you know? I got all these crow's feet and all these lines in my face, I like the way I look, you know? I do. So, because Susan's waiting for me, I gotta get my shit together, because Susan's like the most persistent person on the planet when she's drunk, and she will like fucking needle you until you show up, and I'm afraid of her. I am. I'm afraid of her. Just clog the toilet, I told you. It's scary. So, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm gonna get ready. So I grab my bag, I throw a bunch of like, my sexiest pair of underwear, like these lucky boxers, that's what they're called. They make my bowls look big. So I throw them in, I throw some jeans and clothes, and like a joint that I like so expertly rolled that like the stoner gods emerged from a van out front and were like, "Blessings, son." Namaste. You know, so I go and I reach into my fridge and I pop open a fucking beer and I walk out to the car and I'm like happy as shit and I dial up an Uber and I'm drinking my beer in the parking lot of my condo, smoking a cigarette, and the Uber guy comes, he's a really large African-American man with a beautiful head of hair that just like kind of touches the roof. And I get in and he's bumping fucking John Mayer. And I'm like, this is my dude. I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "You like John Mayer?" I was like, "You're damn right I do." You know? And I get in the car and I'm happy and he plays "Who Says" by John Mayer. It's like the ultimate fucking breakup song. Because he's just like, "Who says you can't get stoned?" Yeah, you're goddamn right. Nobody. And I'm driving and we're having fun and we get to the party. And here's the funny thing, is that I had gone to a party at this house right when I got divorced. And I remember not wanting to go to this party, very hesitant, very afraid, like feeling as if like if I opened that door, it would just be like a whole group of like press corps, like asking me all these questions. Why'd you get divorced? What you did? And I was like, eh. And so I was like really reluctant the first time I came to this party. So this time though, completely different. I had a tank top on, you know, like for starters. I was letting my shoulders fucking see the sun, you know, fucking cute. I would have been cute, yeah. So, I love you, Fred. So, I'm at this party, I get out of the car, and I'm like gangbusters. I get up to the door, and right when I walk into the door, I look up, and it's fucking 3 words that they're the worst 3 words in the English language. Live, laugh, love. So I see this sign, and I fucking hate it. I hate the sign, so I just grab it, and fucking throw it. And I'm like, screw them for having bad taste, you know? If you shop at Bed Bath & Beyond, shoot yourself. So anyway, I'm kidding, don't. That was just a joke. Please don't kill yourself. So I get into this party, and I go in, and it's funny because I run in, and you know when there's like a summer party, there's always those bored-ass couples that sit in the living room? You know those couples, right? Like one of them's always hot, needs air conditioning all the time. Talking to you, Chris Scamaffa. Specifically, Diane Kendall. So I breeze past those people. I like fucking run like the Flash, like their drinks are like shaking. And I get to the kitchen because I wanted to see what the spread is like, because now that I'm older, I care about food at a party now. Like, you know, I'm like, what kind of fucking food did you put out this party, you cheap bastards? Like, there better be some good shit, maybe some charcuterie, you know? Like, you guys think I'm kidding, man. And I go in, and I'm in the kitchen, it's nice kitchen, whatever, and there was like a couple that I had seen at the last party that I was here. They were furiously making out the last time, dry humping against the wall. I'm not even kidding you. It was actually kind of hot. I was like, well, hey. But they're fighting now, and they're like fighting in the kitchen. I just want to lean over them and be like, live, laugh, love. So I get outside, and it is like, it's a beautiful home. You kind of walk down these steps, there's like an in-ground pool, there's lights, there's this and that, it's fucking wonderful. Okay? But it also resembles like a rap video for 35-year-old married white people. Like, there's just like all sorts of debauchery. These people they're away from their kids for 2 minutes. It's like, bring out the smack! Like, holy shit, around lines. I'm like, fuck, man. Fuck. I just want to go swimming. I want to smoke a joint, go swimming. Holy people. So I get outside, so I walk down and I take my shirt off because I look sexy and fuck it. And so I take my shirt off, and like to the left of me, like you walk down and then like to the left there was like this whole group of like, guys, it's all my friends, but I was looking for like my core group. But these people are all like a bunch of dude bros talking about sports, and I was like, don't want to do that. And then like their wives are also like the boring wives. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, my kid and Cody and Austin, and it's like, do you ever fuck without the lights on, you know? Like, so I didn't want to talk to those people. So I was kind of stuck, and I got kind of like cornered. There was like this really long, like the in-ground pool was here, and there was like all these people in the pool, like a bunch of white couples like making out and fighting, who fucking knows? And, because seriously, like you should see married people over 35 without their kids at a party. Like a pool party, holy shit, dude. I was like, I want to go home, I don't feel comfortable. Be an adult. So I get down there, and then, so I'm standing there, it's like this. And there's the like retaining wall, and then there's the pool, and this beautiful, first of all, at the end of it, this is what made me laugh, there was a grill at the end of this, like a propane grill, just burning, with nothing on it. So it was just burning like the rust and like whatever grease was on the grill. And I was like, dude, it's like the tomb of the drunken dad, like your fucking unknown drunken uncle. You know what I mean? So I was staring at that, and this really beautiful woman, she had like a red bikini on, she had this real dark hair, really nice olive skin, and she comes down, and I'm staring at her, because I'm, you know, that's the kind of person I am. And so she comes down, and she's like, it's coming down like towards me, and everybody kind of turns towards her, like looking at her, and it felt oddly reminiscent to when my ex-wife walked down the aisle. And I'm staring at her, and she's getting closer, and she makes eye contact with me, and I make eye contact with her, and she gets closer and closer, and I go to like put my hand out. I don't know why. Like like instinctively. And she just walked right by me. Just like another face. That's all she was. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. I'd also like to thank First Person Arts for putting together the First Person Arts Festival that they allowed me to be part of. And last and certainly not least, the talented Mr. Oz in the booth, the woman who directed this wonderful, wonderful piece, one of my best friends on the planet, Miss Jen Cleary.